probably turn that down before I get a massive copyright claim. Oh. God, it sounds like that's coming through the wall. First, Five Nights. Night Freddy 5 Act. Five Nights when they are at Freddy's. I don't know, I didn't. He had just seen Fazbear Freddy. Freddy Fazgat. Second, Freddy got Patooey. Freddy got Milk Cocksex. You fucking in. Okay. Welcome to Wonder After Dark. Before we commence, this has nothing to do with the topic at all, but Freddy got milked. Yes, he did. Freddy came all over the place. Anyway, before we begin, this has nothing to do with the episode, but couldn't find Shadow's gun, so... But here's the hugger. Just two wholesome boys hugging it out, you know. Freddy Got Fingered will be talked about after, if we have time. If. Remember, somebody has a lot to say about this movie. Are we talking about the Five Nights of Fun event at Chuck E. Cheese? Well, we are welcoming to Wonder After Dark. Five Nights at Freddy's is a 2023 American supernatural horror film. Now you have to, because the name matches with the I mean... Okay, if we have time. Anyway. Five Nights at Freddy's is a 2023 American supernatural horror film based on the video game series of the same name created by good old Scott Cawthon. Directed by Emma Tammy. I am not good at names tonight. Five Nights at Freddy Got Fingered. Finger me daddy. Who co-wrote the screenplay with Cawthon and Seth Cuddleback. Seth Cuddleback, that's a name. From a story by Cawthon, Chris Lee Hill, and Tyler McIntyre. The film starred Seth Finger me dad. Anyway, the film stars Josh Hutcherson as a troubled security guard who starts a job at an abandoned pizzeria where he discovers that its animatronic mascots are actually possessed by the souls of murdered children. Happens to the best of us. Elizabeth Lale, Piper Rubio, Mary Stuart Masterson, and Matthew Lillard star in supporting roles. Now, let me see if Mary Stuart Masterson is by any chance related to... Okay, no, she isn't. Wait, is she... Is she related to... Okay, no, she isn't. I was thinking she was related to Christopher Masterson from Malcolm in the Middle, but no, she isn't. Anyway, the film was produced by Blumhouse Productions and Scott... Debbie Reynolds was Carrie Fisher's mommy, MILF, yep. Anyway, the film was produced by Blumhouse Productions and Scott Cawthon Productions and distributed by Universal Pictures. Universe shit. Scott Cawthon. You know, I'm not saying this, like, as a joke, but, like, the more times I say it, the more it does start to sound like coffin. But anyway, the film released in the UK on August 25th, 2023, and released in the US just 2 days later on October 27th. It's always funny when American made movies come out internationally earlier than the US, but anyway. The film had a budget of just $20 million and made $297.1 million. Can you say big success? I sure can. Counting that money. Development of it. Okay, now here's the mouthful. But here's the mouthful. Development of a Five Nights at Freddy's film began in April 2015, or 2015. April of 9 years at Universal Pictures. Anyway. Development of the film began in April 2015 under Warner Bros. Pictures. Roy Lee, Seth Grahame-Smith, and David Katzenberg, yes, that David Katzenberg of DreamWorks fame, or no, wait, wrong person, never mind. Never mind, I'm stupid, retract that. Fucking shit, I'm stupid. No, that's Jeffrey Katzenberg, and I just said that. Even Copper just looked at me like I'm stupid. Like, you dummy. Anyway, enough making mistakes. Yes, stupid. Enough making mistakes for tonight. Anyway, they were set to produce it. Is she stupid? Yes. Anyway, they were set to produce it, with Gil Keenan announced as director and co-writer. But after multiple production delays, is she retarded? Yes. After multiple production delays, Keenan resigned from the project, and further development on the film was transferred from Warner Bros. To Jason Blum's Blumhouse Productions. Is she poopy? Yes. Fun fact, there were rumble... Is she a girl? No. Fun fact. Fun fact. There were rumors, although I don't think it was ever confirmed, but there were rumors that this film, the Banana Splits movie, also by Warner Bros. Yeah, I know that's funny, but anyway, there were rumors that this film, the Banana Splits movie from Warner Bros. Was actually the FNAF script that they rejected, that they just repurposed. Although I don't think that was ever confirmed. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that rumor of it being the canceled FNAF movie was ever confirmed. But there's a piece of trivia. Anyway. Chris Columbus was hired to... Yes, that Chris Columbus. 1 banana, 2 banana, 3 banana, 4. Anyway. Chris Columbus was hired to direct and co-write the film in February 2018, ultimately leaving the project and being replaced by Tammy in October 2022. It was then filmed from February to April 2023 in New Orleans and surrounding communities on a budget of $20 million. I only know the song because it was in Kick-Ass. Well, I know what we're reviewing before the month is over. Anyway. So yeah, this movie had quite the way before it made it to... Remember Hit Girl's establishing scene? Yes, I do. Kick-Ass. Stay tuned for when we cover it. Anyway. Five Nights at Freddy's was released The Banana Split. Yes, I know. I've seen Kick-Ass. Anyway. Five Nights at Freddy's was released simultaneously... Fix your arms here, guys. That's not a hug. Show me a real hug. There we go. There we go. Anyway. Kick-Ass 1 and 2 are great. Agree. Anyway, although I don't think I've seen Kick-Ass 2, so let me retract that, but Sonic and Anyway. What I was saying. Sonic and Anyway, you'll have to make do with this. I can't find his gun, but anyway. Gunless Law tonight. But anyway, Five Nights at Freddy's was released simultaneously on Peacock and in Fat controller. Anyway, Five Nights at Freddy's was released simultaneously on Peacock and in theaters on October 27th, 2023 in the U.S. Can he do it? No, he can't. yeah, can I just say before I continue reading, just before I continue reading the page, this is something Universal still does, and I don't understand it. I do not for the life of me understand it. Because, okay, back during COVID, I got it, but they still do this to this day. Like The Wild Robot, that came out in theaters September 27th, and it came out on digital October 15th. Why? We're not in the COVID era anymore. You don't need to give it a chance in the theater. Anyway, though, back to Five Night Freddy. Thomas, Percy, Gordon, Diesel 2, Duck, James, and Toby, Ed were 2. Anyway, despite receiving generally negative reviews from critics, the film was still a commercial success, grossing $297 million worldwide and becoming Blumhouse's highest-grossing Fat and the Gang have sex all day. Anyway, becoming Blumhouse's highest-grossing film worldwide, surpassing Split in 2016 or 2000. Anyway, a sequel, of course titled Five Nights at Freddy's 2, is scheduled to be released on December 25th, 2025, so a little over a year from now. Ringo Starr overrated. Well, that's your opinion. So yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the movie, will be coming. He's cool, but kind of, well, I respect your opinion. I like Ringo, but I respect your opinion. But anyway. But yeah, so we're getting a sequel to Five Nights at Freddy's a little over a year from now. A year and 2 months. Anyway, what about people over-glorify the early... You know what, I'll save this for when we cover more Thomas, but as much as I love and grew up with the nostalgic, let me try that again. I'm sending a message in Discord after you share your opinion. Thank you. Anyway, I'll get to it shortly. But anyway, I'll save this for when we cover more Thomas, because we're covering FNAF tonight. But while I did grow up with the model era, and I do very much respect and cherish the model era, I might have to agree. I wouldn't... Thomas and the Special Letter is only remembered for one thing, and the rest of it was boring. That's fair, I guess. Yeah. Most of that episode is just them talking about going to the mainland, and then a brick wall, and then, oh, hey, we're at the mainland, but we've already run out of time. I don't know. While I do think you sound a little negative about it, I do get where you're coming from, and I kind of agree. But fuck siding with one era of the Thomas franchise. I respect all eras. It was time for Thomas to leave. He had seen everything. I don't think that was from Thomas and the Special Letter. Okay, my brother just texted me, is Mom awake? Well, whatever it's from. Special guest star, my brother. Hang on. You said, is Mom awake?
Yeah, is the female spermal parent awake?
1 second. She's asleep. Is that all you wanted?
That's all I needed.
Okay. That was completely unscripted. Granted, this show is not scripted, but that was still, unplanned, unprompted. That was not planned. What up, Jackson, bro? Also, what does it say? Not to mention, I hate that line with a passion. It's the most overused line. Honestly, that I completely get. That, shut this door all the way. There we go. That I completely get. The only thing more overused than that, I feel, is Trevor, oh yes, I like children. Feel free to clip that. Anyway, let's get back to FNARF. Five Nights at Freddy's received generally negative... It's time for me to leave. I have seen cock. Okay, anyway. Five Nights at Freddy's received generally negative reviews from critics. On Rotten Tomatoes, 32% of 214 reviews are positive, though, with an average rating of 4.6 out of 10. The consensus reads, loaded with Easter eggs, Five Nights at Freddy's may be fun to watch for fans of the game, but most viewers of any other persuasion will find this adaptation muddled and decidedly unscary. Oh, whoops. Alright, also, the fat controller laughed. You are wrong. I get annoyed with that too. I hate critics more after my third viewing. Stay tuned. Anyway. Metacritic assigned the film a score of 33 out of 100, based on 38 critics, indicating generally unfavorable reviews. Audiences surveyed by CinemaScore gave it a minus on an A+ to F scale, while those polled by PostTrax gave it a 77 overall positive. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to stop reading after this, but 33 is actually criminal, and even after my first viewing, I disagreed. Oh, and that one where it's like, horrible, said James, followed by Henry's reaction, is also bad because it gets overused in those stupid DeviantArt reactions. Stay tuned for when we cover more Thomas the Tankin Dankin, anyway. And when I inevitably get a call from my brother's now wife. I still don't know why he wanted to know if my mom was still awake. Who knows? Maybe my brother's wife accidentally burned another car seat. Yeah, not long ago, it was shortly before the wedding, my brother's, at the time, fiance. Sounds like someone is getting mad at the small things, but that is in character. Oh, God. We should also roast DeviantArt memes, too. Not tonight, anyway. Mortada El Fadl. That Harry Potter spell of Variety felt the animatronic characters were underutilized. With the film, I can send FNAF better. Anyway, with the film instead focusing on a baffling plot and backstory for their protagonist. He also criticized a perceived lack of effective jump scares. I'll happily roast those with y'all. If I see another one of those, if I see another Loud House reacts to meme, I'm gonna fucking snap. Stay tuned for when we cover the Loud House. Anyway. And concluded, in trying to adapt the game for the screen, they forgot what makes the original special, wringing unintentional laughter from its bizarre story instead of entertaining audiences. Loud House is overrated too. Brief opinion, the Loud House was good for its first, 2 or 3 seasons. Season 4 was where it started to slip. And now it has aliens. I'm not kidding. They had an alien invasion episode. I seen it once and couldn't get into it. I hope to God you saw the early episodes and not the new stuff. Alright, I'm going to read that review again. Alright. In trying to... Because I lost some brain cells at that last part. Okay, I seen the early ones. Okay. Critics done. Yes! Anyway. A baffling plot and backstory for their protagonist. In trying to adapt the game for the screen, they forgot what makes the original special, wringing unintentional laughter from its bizarre story instead of entertaining audiences. Blumpkin. Fuck. There's that review again. By the way, my toe started bleeding earlier for no reason. Bumgin by it. The original special. Yeah, checking doors and pressing buttons. Also unintentional laughter. What the fuck, LMFAO? Yep. Critics are stupid. In fact, I'm the only film critic you should trust. I've been there. People took that story seriously. Yeah, like I said, I am. What is he on? Meth. I am the only film critic you should trust. But I'm also the one person that you shouldn't trust. I mean, Jesus, you give me car keys, it's just gonna. How old is he? I wish I knew. I actually do not know. I must know. He's one. Look him up. Okay. Okay. He is. Okay, how old are you, sir? You are. Okay, no, that's just a bunch of articles. Okay, let's go to. Now we have to go. Why can I not find this guy's age? Like, we're just trying to figure out how old this film critic is, and I can't find anything. Okay, let me do this. What the fuck? Just typed his age and. Okay, wait. Maybe IMDb will tell us. What the fuck? IMDb doesn't even say. Okay, so I guess this man just poofed into existence one day. Because I can't find how old he is. I guess he's just one of those weird, disgusting. Yeah, this man doesn't exist. Talk like the Micro Machines guy. Cock! Anyway. I haven't seen enough Micro Machines commercials to know. But I assume he's obnoxious. But yeah, this man clearly does not exist. This, wait. Okay. I'm gonna use it. Oh yeah, I went to Walmart. Tiny Shadow. The Ring. Watch if you dare. One of the most iconic modern-day horror films, The Ring, is now available on 4K Ultra HD. The tale begins when the bizarre death of a teenage girl leads journalist Rachel Kaler, Naomi Watts, to investigate a mysterious urban legend. In a cabin, she discovers a video cassette containing disturbing imagery, and anyone who views the tape receives a chilling phone call from an unknown voice warning 7 days. Ooh, I'm better making a name for myself here. Okay, back to Wet Fart at Frederick's. Five Nights at Freddy's was released simultaneously in theaters and on Peacock in the United States on October. Fuck. Fun fact, the Micro Machines guy wasn't using sped up footage. He can actually talk that fast. And so can I. Clearly. I'm probably going to wake up with a heat stroke tomorrow. Anyway. By the way, I love how we just skip he could talk faster. By the way, I love how we just skipped hoodie season because it went from summer to cold. And by cold, I mean fucking freezing. Anyway. Five Nights at Freddy's was released simultaneously in theaters and on Peacock in the U.S. by Universal Pictures. Today was very fucking cold this morning, not gonna. Same here. I wrapped myself in a blanket all day. Honestly based. Like for realsies. Like, you know what my idea of a perfect day is? Staying at home, cuddling up with somebody, being all bundled up in a blanket, maybe a fort, perhaps, watching, some fun movies, and then you go to bed, and you're all nice and peaceful. Friends. Cuddling up with your dog. Or really anyone. No, listen, I love Copper dearly, but God, I need someone. Anyway, October 27, 2023. It was released 2 days early. Don't you love waking up to dog butt? I mean, I prefer dog butt over dog piss and dog shit. I wouldn't be surprised if their critics can eat shite. Agree. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if there was dog cum in the floor that's just already dried. That reminds me of a funny story, but I'll save it till we're done. Anyway, it released 2 days earlier in the United Kingdom on October 25th, 2023. Critics can eat dog shite, yep. Anyway, the film was then released on Amazon Prime Video on March 5th of this year after its removal from Peacock. Your dog can't produce pure cum if he's fixed. At least I don't know, honestly. I mean, he is fixed, but I don't know. I don't know for sure, and I really don't want to type "can fixed dogs produce cum" into Google, because I don't want the FBI to think like, oh God, what's this bitch up to now? You need to be fixed. Clearly, I mean, my dick is already tiny. You just gotta take my balls away. Anyway, I do know fixed dogs can't get other dogs pregnant. Now, can somebody please... Freddy, you're supposed to be on lockdown. Now, can somebody please tell Copper that? Because he keeps trying to stick it inside Daisy. Even though Daisy's like 5 times his size. Funny how Copper actually hates the shit out of Daisy, but the minute that asshole comes into sight... So you don't have to worry about Copper getting Daisy preggers. I hope. Besides, that'd be the fucking ugliest mixed breed ever. I mean, Copper's already a mixed breed. Imagine. I'll ask her to lay. No! 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 Remember when we talked about mixed breed big dogs and small dogs? Yes, that was a fun night. Anyway, back to fuckface. Back to fried N-words at fuck Great Dane Palm. Anyway, in October 2023, the film's animatronics were put on display at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights at the Universal Studios Hollywood theme park. And I wish they were a permanent fixture, I must say, because that would be cool to see in person. With a pop-up location also being built at Sunset Boulevard, both of which are, of course, located in Los Angeles, California. The latter is being described the latter is being described as being decorated similarly to the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza location as seen in the film. The Great Dane bitch got rizzed by the suave palm stud. I think reading that just took at least a century off my life. Before long, I'll just become Dr. Cox, but anyway. I used to be JD. Now I'm Dr. Cox, but anyway. A making-of book titled The Art and Making of Five Nights at Freddy's was released on August 20th, 2024. That shit was so Sigma. Shut. And a novelization was released December 26th, 2023. No idea why this is all out of order, but okay. And finally, the palm was skibbity. The Great Dane was bussin'. Can I just say, the reason why, not to totally go off track, but the mental image of a Great Dane Pomeranian mix is so fucking funny to me because never mind how that would look, that would be the equivalent of a fucking horse mating with a guinea pig. Like, that would be the equivalent of a horse shoving it inside of a guinea pig. If we're talking about size. Okay, but anyway. What I was saying. Back to FNARF at fuck shit. Thing is, let's hope the big one was a female for safety reasons. But then you'd have the whole... dog sex, anyway. Five Nights at Freddy's was released on dominating a small female. Sex funny, anyway. Five Nights at Freddy's was then released on digital platforms. I like though. Stop. Anyway. Five Nights at Freddy's was released on shut up, on digital platforms on November 28th, 2023 in Minecraft and lived. Anyway, I just don't want dogs to get hurt. Fair? Anyway, it was released on digital platforms on November 28th, 2023, and finally was released on DVD and Blu-ray on December 12th. Ooh boy, I made a name for myself here. Dogs are adorable, but cats are amazing. I love cats. We might be talking about a cat movie soon enough. Anyway, Fnarfit Fredericks, I love both. Same. Anyway, fart. Anyway, yeah. This is the only Five Nights at Freddy's thing I own. I love both, but I love cats. Bisexual for animals. Anyway, Blu-ray plus DVD plus digital code. Night Shift Edition. I love both, but I love foxes. You would love the wild robot. Anyway, fun fact. When Universal first announced this release, they made a horrific typo. They accidentally labeled it the Night Shit Edition. They never went back and edited that post. So if you go find it, it still says Night Shit Edition. I seen a fox run across the street yesterday night. That's based. Night Shit is amazing. Yes, it is. But unfortunately, this is not the Night Shit Edition. It's the Night Shift Edition. But anyway, Tails IRL, yep. I wonder if that fox went to go sit on a park bench. Anyway, Blu-ray plus DVD, Five Nights at Freddy's, Universal, product number, Tails IRL hot, yes. One of my favorite movie memes, yep. Yeah. The back. Bonus features include Five Nights at Freddy's from game to big screen, killer animatronics, and Five Nights in 3 dimensions. Tails or Tolls? Or, anyway. Yeah, kind of the cops are after that fox on the bench, yep. This is an interesting release in that apparently there are several deleted scenes that are out there. Oh, thanks TikTok. Anyway, there are several deleted scenes out there. They are not on this release. Not a single copy of this movie anywhere in the world. The Sonic 3 script got leaked. We haven't done anything. We were just watching children play in the park. Anyway. But yeah, there were deleted scenes. There were scenes that were cut from this movie. They have not been released. Nowhere. Shut shit. Shit. Anyway. Nope, you said shit. Anyway. But there were no... Yeah. Although this movie does have deleted scenes that are out there, they were not included on the physical release. They were not included on the digital copies. The no-fly list got leaked. We haven't done anything. We were smoking weed. Anyway. And they are not on Peacock. They're not on Prime. No, the group chat got leaked. We haven't done anything. We're a totally peaceful racist group. But yeah. No deleted scenes. Nowhere. Even though they literally exist. My furry hard drive got leaked. We haven't done anything. We were just looking at pictures of Rainbow Dash. Pretty much the same underneath, but with some slight differences. Sprigatito intensifies. Yep. Anyway. Inside, we have your Blu-ray disc and your DVD. Sprigatito, not Tito. My apologies. Both of which are movie and special features. So not sure why you need both, but whatever. It's nice to have. Alright. So now that we've finished yabbering about the release history, that's funny because I have pictures of Rainbow Dash on my broken drive that works with anything but my computer. It works with your Nintendo Switch. Despacito. Something something Spanish Tito. I am having sex with a Latino. I love Latinas, Sonic. Alright. Five Nights at Freddy's. This movie came out. It probably could actually work with my hacked Switch even better. Bill Cosby, sex. Alright. Let's leave the jokes at the door for a minute. Five Nights at Freddy's. As I said, came out 1 year ago. Now, I and Spider had skibbity bop, try my jello pudding pop. Yep, alright. Now, me and Spider had two very different experiences with this movie. I'm going to let him start with his experience seeing the movie. Jesse loved it. No. Very different. No. Well, I meant different in how we watched it. I did not see it in theaters. You did. Name withheld loved it. Strangely enough, that I wouldn't doubt that. That just makes sense. Based on what little I know of him. Ah, okay. But anyway, I'll let you start before I start. Yeah, I really didn't like it initially. For context, interestingly, the film was leaked and streamed in my server a day before it came out. I thought it was a very mediocre adaptation. Yeah. I wasn't there to watch it, though. Who the fuck in your server? Somebody at Universal got fired, taken out back, and then shot. Alright, let me put these over here so I don't forget. But anyway. Put these back where they go. Alright, but... Sorry about that. Anyway. I'm using my words carefully, though. Initially thought. Anyway. Yeah, thank you. Anyway. Now, for a bit of additional historical context, Attack of the Clones and Hulk 2003 were leaked, so... Tweet. Anyway. For additional context, Spider saw the film opening night, October 27th, in the theater. He went with one of his sisters, I think. I'm pretty sure. Because he can actually speak. Anyway. Yeah, barely. But anyway. Okay, but for context. Saw the movie in the theater on the 27th, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it was the 27th. And I think if I remember correctly, he went with one of his sisters. Actually, please, though, I don't want to type it out. I'll get to that. Anyway. But he was excited because, you know, he's the FNAF fan. I'm just the filthy casual. He brought his Foxy plush and everything. My sister brought me to the theater. I watched alone. Okay, thank you for clarifying. But, okay, so he was alone then. But, yeah. But he had his Foxy plush. He was real excited. And, yeah, he initially wasn't so thrilled. In fact, I remember... Well, not alone, because I was next to a few fans. Well, yeah. Okay, but anyway. A lot of fans, yeah. Anyway, but I remember that initial night when he got back from the theater. I kind of regret how I was that night, because in the back of my head, I really was thinking, like, this isn't going to be a great movie. And when he came out and was so, like, about it, I wasn't rude about it, but I did kind of have that, I knew this would be the case kind of vibe, like, but I kind of regret that, because I feel like I might have been maybe a little rude. I mean, I was so upset. Yeah, he was. I don't know, like, I didn't say anything rude out loud, at least I don't remember saying anything rude, and I need to step out for a bit. No worries. You're not going to be missing much anyway. Anyway, but what I was saying. But I don't know. I don't recall saying anything rude, but I definitely recall having that kind of like I told you so kind of not behavior, but I had a good night and it's one of the greatest moments in the theater that I ever had and I'll never forget it. And that's very wholesome, I will say. That's very wholesome. But I do recall, well, even though Sild's not here for now, but I do recall you, the audience, being pretty upset initially. But what about my experience? Oh, I see we're down to 0. On my end, I see 0 viewers. Oh, now it's back to 1. YouTube loves to play mind games. But anyway, I'm here. Okay. On my end, it went down to 0, so that's why I was like, oh. But anyway. Now, what about my experience? Well, I'm pretty sure I watched it a little bit after the fact. I actually don't recall exactly how much later it was, but I'm pretty sure. God, I'm pretty sure it was a couple days later. It was. I know it was not on Halloween night, Halloween day, October 31st, but it was a couple days after the 27th. Might have possibly been early November. I don't know, but anyway, I did not see the movie in theaters. I kind of regret not seeing it in theaters because it would have been a great experience, but I watched it on Peacock. I specifically watched it on Peacock with my mom and my sister because my sister is the FNAF fuck of the house and my mom just kind of tagged along. I'm not the FNAF fuck. I'm not saying that like in a rude way. I'm not trying to sound rude. I'm not even insinuating rude. But I've just never been into the franchise. Like, I've tried, but I just cannot. Now, but I still watched the movie with them on Peacock. How did it go? Well, my sister kind of tapped out until like the last couple minutes, and my mom fell asleep until the very end. In fact, ironically, she started falling asleep when Mike started falling asleep. And then she basically stayed asleep throughout the majority of the movie. But it was a good time. Although I recall feeling very similarly. Granted, I wasn't as upset because, again, I was never really into the franchise. And other than like the super, it's hard to get into now. You have to have been there near the beginning to really fall in love with it. It's harder now. Yeah. So yeah, I think the Five Nights at Freddy's ship has kind of sailed. It's kind of the one franchise I am guaranteed to not get into. But anyway, what I was saying. But while I wasn't upset at all, because again, other than like the super basic premise, I don't really know anything. So it was kind of my first real long-term exposure. I was so like I can't pinpoint it, but I was like in one of those really oddly specific moods, I guess, after watching it. It wasn't a bad movie in my opinion, but there was so much about it. I guess the main thing about it that got me, and I'm not okay, I need to go ahead and clarify, audience, I am not siding with the critics, so don't interpret it this way, but it felt, I don't know. While I do think the focus on the human characters made perfect sense, I felt like it focused, and for the record, I'm talking about my initial viewing, I felt like it focused too much on the humans at times. Like, there were times where I was like, there were times during my first viewing where I was like, why do we need to see this? Or like, why should we care? To be fair though, Doug is based. Sit down, Doug. But anyway, both the character and the actor. I just love Doug. But anyway, I wish the main four had more screen time. Same here. As someone who's not even like super into them. Like, but yeah, that's the thing. I think my main problem with it initially was that for being Five Nights at Freddy's, the Freddy's characters weren't really in the movie all that much. I mean, they were in it more than you would think, but less than you would want. Like, and not only that, but not only do I feel like they were underutilized, but I feel like they were kind of okay. I get that they're not really supposed to. I get that they're just like innocent kids that are like trapped inside, but they didn't feel threatening for most of the movie. They just felt clueless. Like, I don't know, like they should have felt more menacing, more intimidating. Especially because they're like, the antagonists, but no. And then like it just become oh yeah, and let's not forget when this movie briefly becomes like a family like we befriend the machines and now we're friends with them kind of movie, and they're like building the fort out of like the tables and chairs, and it's all wholesome, and I'm like, this is really cute, but what is this doing in a Five Nights at Freddy's movie? Like, I don't know. Like, my first viewing was just so weird. I can't pinpoint it, but it was just so weird the first time around. I liked it well enough, but I didn't love it. I don't know. But I do have this thing where, even if a movie is not great, I still might pick up a physical copy of it if it exists and if it's affordable. So, of course, I did eventually pick up a physical copy, the Blu ray. And the Blu ray version was my second viewing. I actually think it was better the second time around, but it still had a lot of flaws. Like, I don't know. I was more invested in the plot the second time. Gay. Welcome back. Anyway, I'm not repeating myself, so don't ask. But I was more invested in it the second time around, but it still had a lot of flaws. Like, I don't know. I can't explain it. My flaw with it the second time around, though, was I had a worse experience the second time. Do tell, but only after I'm finished. But the second time, my flaw with it, you should repeat yourself now. Genuinely, I don't want to, because then we'll never be done. But anyway, my flaw with it the second time around was, I don't know. It it felt, I'm trying to think of how to put it into words. Like, because I said there were deleted scenes earlier. It felt like they took a much okay. Now we need time for our second. Please wait till we're done with FNARF. I think my second viewing was a week after my initial view. Well, the Blu-ray was 2 months later, so my initial viewing was 2 to 3 months later. But anyway, my flaw with it the second time around was it felt like they took a much longer movie. Tell that to my second viewing of the Rise of Riz Walker. Yep. Anyway, my flaw with FNAF the second time around was that it felt like they took a much longer, like 2.5, 3 hour movie, condensed it down to like an hour and a half, and then stretched it back out to 2 hours. Can we please stop arguing? Please stop. Anyway, just do not start an argument for the love of Christ. But anyway. But I don't know. That's what it felt like. It felt like they took a much longer movie, condensed it down, and then tried to stretch it back out. I'm sorry, but it's getting on my nerves. I wasn't even talking to Spot. Moving on. But anyway. But that's what it felt like the second time. It felt like they took a long movie, shortened it, and then lengthened it. If that makes any sense. Shrug.gif. Alright, now over to you, Spider. How was your second viewing? Because you said it was a worse experience. So I'm curious. I'm curious, how was it a worse experience for you the second time around? I just liked it less. I can't remember too much. Well, that makes sense. And then I kind of dropped it after my second viewing. I kind of dropped it after a while. I kind of, oh, what was I say? I brought my mom and stepdad or let me try it again. I brought I brought my mom and stepdad to it, and I think my stepbros and they liked it. I do vaguely recall that, vaguely. But anyway, I don't remember too much, but I do recall the family. But anyway, then after my second viewing, though, I kind of dropped it. I would think about the movie occasionally, but I didn't watch it again in full. And then, of course, eventually Microwave Society did their review of it, and I watched that. Actually, I don't know. I have to look up when their review of it was, but I watched that, and it was a funny video, but I also had to explain to my mom before watching it so she wouldn't be too confused. My sister explained it to my mom, and bless her heart, just bless her heart, nothing else. Alright, what does it say? No offense, but I can't help myself if I interrupt. I'm sorry that I do, but please understand I can't help myself. Thank you. Just thank you. Alright. Anyway, even if I do get a little testy about the interruptions sometimes, because sometimes they do get on my nerves, but I know you can't help it. That's the only... Please do not take this the wrong way. I mean, no... Sorry if I come off rude. I just want to be invested in this topic. With that being said, Discord. Okay. Then I'll continue. Okay, for the record, this is not anything insanely rude, but I'm not going to read that on camera, but... Okay. Yeah. I see where you're coming from, but I'm not going to read that on camera, because I do not... It's nothing too bad, but I don't want this to become a flame war. Now let's get back to the topic. I'm not ignoring that. It's okay. Good. Anyway, let's please get back to the topic. But after my second viewing, I kind of just dropped it. I would think about it occasionally, but I didn't really care to watch it again. But then October 2024, 1 year later, rolled around, and I realized, oh shit, this movie's going to be a year old. And hey, I got this great show. Let's cover it. Discord, okay. I'll tend to this momentarily. I really just want to get this topic out of the way. But I'll tend to that momentarily. I need to just keep my god fucking damn mouth shut. But anyway, what I was saying. But okay, but that brings us to today, my third viewing. Admittedly, I was kind of up on my feet today during my third viewing. Because, you know, I got out of the house, went to Walmart, then I came back home and finished. I watched part of it in the car, and then finished it in the house. But I did watch it. So that makes 3 viewings now, over the course of a year. What do I think of the movie on my third go? Okay. I'm trying to articulate. I'm trying to put it into words. Okay. So, I wish I could play the Jeopardy music, but unfortunately it's copyrighted. So you'll just have to imagine it playing. But, okay. I'm going to keep it brief but descriptive. Brief but descriptive. Detailed, even. I think it is a good movie, and I think it gets better with each viewing, in my personal opinion. Might not be the case for everyone, but that's just how it does me. I think on my third viewing, I can now say it's a genuinely pretty good movie. It does have its slower. I have no interest in seeing it, and that's perfectly fair. Even though I'm the kind of fuck face to say I'm gonna pester you, I'm not gonna pester you for this one. But anyway, question out of 10. I'm getting there, but I'm getting there. I'm almost done, but I will pester. Oh God. Okay, anyway, but nah, that's my rating. Anyway, well, it's your rating, but it's also a hint of mine. But anyway, but I can say on my third viewing now that it is a really good movie. It may have some flaws here and there. It may have some inaccuracies. No matter how much you or Jesse pesters, I won't. Fair. I don't want to start anything, so fair. But anyway, but I do think on the third viewing it is good. It may have some flaws. It may have some inaccuracies to the source material. Let me do it on my own pace. Fair. Many of the inaccuracies and discrepancies I've had told to me before by Spider. But it is, a good movie. But on my third viewing, I don't know. I wouldn't want anyone to pester me to watch Rio 2. Anyway, but on my third viewing, while I do think it is a good, horror movie, I don't think it's a good, or I take it back. I think it's a good Five Nights at Freddy's movie, but it's not a great or perfect Five Nights at Freddy's movie. That's my takeaway from my third viewing. Then again, you're the one who said, well, that was just a joke. Like, I wasn't being an way to light me on fire for a joke. A joke. If you can take a dick in the ass, you can damn sure take a joke. But anyway, I'm not being rude. I know, but that was still me being jokey. But anyway. Okay, but that's my takeaway from my third viewing. It's a good. Okay, I'm so glad you found humor in that. But yeah, I did do that. I'm so glad you found humor in that. But anyway. But anyway. But, it was. Hang on. But people were it was fun. Yeah, positive. But anyway. But it's a good Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Just not perfect. It could have been better. And I say this as a casual, someone who's never played the games or consumed any of the other media. Who knows? Thought Toy Bonnie was normal. Ah, yes. Yep, you can make fun of me for that all you want. But anyway, this is the kind of making fun of I'll allow. But anyway, because I know you both do not have any harmful intentions. But anyway, but what I was saying, but I guess to conclude, I like the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. It isn't perfect. It could be a lot better. It could be so much better. But for what it is, I think it's a good Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Not perfect, but good. And I think it's a really good, watch with friends and family and laugh at kind of movie. So, what's my rating? Well, I'm honestly probably going to say you know, in terms of being a movie, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. As a FNAF movie, I'll give it lower than that. As a Five Nights movie, I'll give it a 7 or 8 out of 10. And thus, we did it. Also, here's the funny image. Yep. Funny image. Antonio Banderas. Read. Okay. Jesse, I have harmful intentions to your hair. Oh no. Anyway. Alright, now Spider is about to send his thoughts. Can't wait for those. But yeah, in my case, now we have officially covered fuck shit at cocksuckers. We did it. Discord. Okay. Now we're going to read. Now we're going to get an outside opinion. We're going to get Spider's opinion. So, what you're saying is FNAF the movie is like fine wine. I mean, maybe not fine wine, but a nice, I'd say it's like a nice, refreshing Coca-Cola. That might not sound like a compliment, but it's better if it's Coca-Cola than generic gas station drink. You know what I'm saying, nigga? She like her some chocolate. So it's like chill powder. I guess. I don't know. I can't talk. But anyway. Now we're going to read Spider's thoughts. Anyway. But what's his opinion? Okay. Chili powder gets hotter with age. Ah. But I wouldn't know because I don't chili. Alright. Straight from the horse's mouth. Okay, so, when the credits played, I immediately thought of the I Am Feeling scene from The Grinch. Horse's butt. Anyway. Alright. When the credits played, I immediately thought of the I Am Feeling scene from The Grinch, as well as the, oh my god, I get it, Danny DeVito clip. I think it's best to watch this film not expecting a horror slasher, but a science fiction thriller. And honestly, I kind of love it now. It's flawed, don't get me wrong. There's a few things that I'm not a fan of, like the Balloon Boy jump scares, spoilers if you haven't seen it, and the lack of screen time for the main characters, but the music, the cinematography, the acting, the drama and everything is way better and more enjoyable than last time. People hate how slow it is, but I actually like the slowness. And while yes, I hated the way they portrayed Golden Freddy, spoilers, I actually forgive it because it's accurate. Golden barely shows up in the first game, and is a small hallucination, which the film gets right. The fort scene actually didn't bother me as much, and I think that's because I went in not wanting to be an annoying film critic and just enjoy a FNAF movie. And they get it right for the most part, because it is just a bunch of kids playing. I understood the drawing thing more, thank God. The spring lock scene is still a little disappointing, but I respect what they were able to do. And honestly, I'd say I would move this from a D to an A. I think I obsessed over wanting it to be a perfect adaptation. And while I don't think it's super close, I respect it and I enjoyed it a million times more to a point where I can say that I really like it. Not sure about love, maybe, but I like it a lot. And yes, I'll take it over Sonic. Sorry, but this is such a better game to screen film. Ooh. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a modern video game. Well, you're not wrong, but way to just deflate the wholesome moment. But yeah, I get it. I see where you're coming from, Spider. I really do. In fact, you basically just. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I mean, yeah, fair. Anyway. Good. But anyway. And hey, look, you basically just put what I couldn't say into words. Video game movies have been good lately. Yeah, they have. But yeah, that does make sense when you put it that way. That actually makes perfect sense. It's a fun science fiction thriller, not a horror slasher, compared to the ones from before, anyway. Absolutely. But yeah, they really did a good job on this movie, and it does get better with each viewing and with age. So I guess third time's the charm is the takeaway. I think it was marketed. Hang on. I think it was marketed badly. It's not horror, it's a science fiction thriller. Similarly, not identical, but similarly, Transformers 1, I feel, was another movie that got very poorly advertised. The trailers just made it seem like a goofy, sillier take on Transformers, when really it's a very good, powerful, legit origin story. With elements of humor, but sparingly. Just using that as an example. But yeah, there you go. Read. Okay. I'm proud of you, Dick. Batman. Batman Arkham Knight. But yeah, that makes perfect sense. I guess the takeaway from tonight is Five Nights at Freddy's may not be a perfect adaptation, but does it need to be? No. It's a fun science fiction thriller, and there's nothing wrong with that. It was a great movie in that regard. I hate that this is making me tear up, god fucking damn it. I am not even a fan of the franchise. Son of a bitch, I'm getting emotional. Maybe I'll watch someday. I'm more excited for FNAF 2 than the upcoming Mortal Kombat and Sonic films. Although, yeah. Stay tuned. If Sonic 4, or 4, let me try that again. If Sonic 3 gets a glowing review from me, and I don't mean the usual glowing review, I mean a very glowing review. If Sonic 3 gets a glowing review from me, anyway, but yeah. At the moment, but I'm not sure about 3. Yeah. Virtual insanity, but with Sonic. Let me see if I can do that, actually. Okay, wait. Let me see if I can. Discord, okay. Okay. Do it again, but hum the song. Oh. Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same. Fuck you. Fuck you. Get fucked, you fucking dick. Wait. What's what? I am not. I might go to TikTok later with this. Wait. Okay. What's the sound? Wait. There it is. There it is. There it is.
Fuck you!
That meme is a legit 2014 FNAF Energy Radiant meme. Yeah, 100%. Alright, I got time for at least one more thing before we sign off for tonight. Anyway, time for topic number 2. Oh yeah, I guess I should probably do this just to appease... Yep. I guess I should probably do this just to appease Sylv. For the record, I did want to eventually cover this movie. I guess we'll just do it just because we got a bit of time to spare. Freddy Got Fingered is a 2001 surreal black comedy film directed by Tom Green in his feature film directorial debut and written by Green and Derek Harvey. Freddy Got Fingered isn't really work. Well, you're not wrong. The film stars Tom Green alongside Rip Torn, Marisa Coughlan, Eddie K. Thomas, and Julie Haggerty. Yep. The film was produced by Regency Enterprise. Freddy isn't even the main character. Yep, correct. Anyway, the film was produced by Regency Enterprises and distributed by 20th Century Fox, now known as 20th Century Studios. Anyway, the film released on April 20th, 2001 in the U.S. Correct. EA Sports. Suck my dick. Anyway, the film had a budget of $14 million and made $14.3 million. Oops. Anyway, Green stars in the film as a childish slacker who wishes to become a professional cartoonist while dealing with his abusive father's behavior. Its plot resembles Green's struggles as a young man trying to get his television series picked up, which would later become the MTV series The Tom Green Show. The title of the film refers to a plot point where Green's character falsely accuses his father of sexually abusing his brother, the eponymous Freddy. And also, he still has his umbilical cord. I forgot about that detail. Moving on. The film was critically panned at the time of its release, with many critics considering it one of the worst films of all time. It was also a box office disappointment, grossing $14.3 million worldwide, just slightly above its $14 million budget, by 0.3. It received 5 Golden Raspberry Awards of its 8 nominations, as well as a Dallas-Fort Worth Film Critics Association Award for Worst Picture. However, the film quickly developed a cult following after its release on home video and has earned some positive critical re-evaluation. Talk about how he swings the baby around and then the scene turns to an emotional... Oh yeah, that happens. You're probably expecting me to give a way deeper thesis on that. No, it just happens, and it hits you like a bus. Anyway. Alright, reception. Rotten Tomatoes gives the film a 12% based on 99 critics, with an average rating of 3.20 out of 10. The site's consensus reads, yeah, he cuts open a deer and wears it after he's told to get in character as a deer by some... Yep, that happens. Did you tell Mom and Dad about the D-O-R-E? Anyway. The site's consensus reads, unfavorably comparing it with such infamously bad titles as Battlefield Earth, a significant number of critics are calling Tom Green's extreme gross-out comedy the worst movie they have ever seen. Metacritic assigned the film a weighted average of 13 out of 100 based on 25 critics, indicating overwhelming dislike. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave Freddy Got Fingered an average grade of C- on an A plus to F scale. Tom Green is so painfully unfunny that he's funny, but also so unfunny it's fun. That gave me a stroke. CNN's Paul Clinton called it, quite simply, the worst movie ever released by a major studio in Hollywood history, and listed the running time as 87 awful minutes. Yeah, damn. It's Tom Green. I don't expect you to be healthy. Bitch, I'm never healthy. Alright. And then because it's actually not listed on the film's Wikipedia page. Alright. And because it is actually not listed on the film's Wikipedia page, the film was released on VHS and DVD on October 23rd, 2001 by 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment. And that's pretty much it. It was never reissued or reprinted or re-released on DVD at any point. And it was never released on Blu-ray. It definitely is not getting a 4K. That's pretty much it. It was only released on VHS and DVD the one time, and that's pretty much where the story ended. Okay, so Freddy Got Fingered. I actually haven't seen it in a while. I didn't know we were covering it tonight, so I can't. But yeah, no time to prepare for this one. Expect a redo. But Freddy Got Fingered, let's be honest, who would release it now? Nobody. Nobody. In fact, it would just get quiet. In fact, actually, I take it back. It wouldn't even come out on a major streaming service. It would come out just on YouTube. Like, it would just be like an independent film uploaded for free on YouTube. Like Killer Bean Forever. Exactly like Killer Bean Forever. It would come out that same way. Just on YouTube for free, with no context. The VHS also contains the 3-minute version as a bonus feature. But I wouldn't know that because I don't have it on DVD and I don't have it on VHS. So I don't have a copy of the movie to show tonight. You should search it out. I should. Because my thing is like, even bad movies are worthy of purchasing sometimes. What does this say? I want to make a game based on the literary nonsense. Exactly what the name suggests. It's absurd ideas that mean practically nothing or make no sense at all. Alice in Wonderland is the greatest example. Yes, indeed. And hey, look at that. There's a movie that I've been pestered to watch before that I never have. Kind of. I've seen Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. I've never seen the original. Don't ask me how that worked out. Don't ask how that ended up happening, that I've seen Tim Burton's but not the original. So yeah, I guess if you want to bully me into watching that one, go right ahead. Wouldn't be the first Disney classic I've been bullied into watching. I won't say what that Disney classic is, but I'm kind of tempted to make it the season finale. But not just in the writing, but also mechanics and the way everything works. Something that's just so off-putting. No, that does make perfect sense, what you mean. I'm loving what you're cooking. Won't get a season finale, yeah. But yeah, I won't say what the Disney classic is that I've been bullied into watching before. But I'm a little bit tempted, just a little bit, to make it the season finale this year. Assuming the show makes it to December, which we've already made it to October. There's no backing out now. It's Return to Oz, isn't it? Nope, we already covered Return to Oz, remember? You made me watch it, and we did cover it. We already did that one. But anyway, I'm trying to think of another example for Spider. Okay, that's nice. I'm just letting this play out before we sign off for tonight. Alright, like how can I manipulate the pause button to make it weird but not broken? How can I include that word horror to confuse the player's perception of where they are? That is diabolical. Just absolutely diabolical. I need to go. Okay, no worries. We were almost done anyway, but stay tuned. Oh, but will you elaborate further? Well, I would. I would elaborate further. But I will say before we go, little vague. You know what? I'm just going to end the episode here. So, Spider, to you. Do you have any last thoughts before we sign off for tonight? Because if not, I'm just going to go ahead and say my piece. Speak now, or oh, you listed it whole. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that word is coined by Lovecraft. Yep. All right. Actually, if you have anything else to say about this literary nonsense game, just speak now, and then we'll wrap up. My thoughts on Chips Ahoy, or my thoughts are Chips Ahoy to Oreos. Discord, okay. When it comes to physical spaces, non-use, I can't pronounce that word. I cannot. So I don't know. I love both. I'm more of a Chips Ahoy. That makes sense. Anyway, I can't pronounce this word to save my life. So forgive me if I fucking butcher it. But when it comes to physical spaces, I call Euclidean. Okay, Euclidean. When it comes to physical spaces, I call non-Euclidean geometry nightmare geometry. The more official term would be non-Euclidean geometry. Oh, hey, look, I got it correct for once. Which deals with 3D objects like spheres, but is often used to talk about this more outlandish design and architecture. Think MC Escher's staircase. Physically, it's just a series of stairs, but the angles are impossible. It's strange and mesmerizing. Growing up, my stepmother had a print of this hanging in her house. I was fascinated by it. I couldn't understand what was going on. It's more like the more you think about it, the less it makes sense. And ironically, that makes sense. That's hilariously ironic. But yeah, that's perfect. That makes perfect sense. Anyway, here's Dog Pool. Mary Poppins. Did you read? I don't know. I love both, but I'm more of a Chips Ahoy guy. I'm a dip. Okay. Well, good night, Spider. This is the end of the episode anyway, so good night. Have a day. Eat well. I don't know. But anyway, stay tuned for tomorrow night because what are you? I, I like Oreos. But anyway, stay tuned because tomorrow night we're covering something about cats. Yep, I've already decided. We're covering something about kitties. Wait, okay. At least you waited before the outro. Thank you. Does Chewy Chips Ahoy exist in the U.S.? I just got an Oreo hat. Anyway, I haven't personally seen that, so I'm going to guess no. But anyway, stay tuned because tomorrow night we're covering something about kitties and cats and it's in a red package. Okay, then I haven't seen it. Anyway, cats tomorrow, and we're not talking about the movie Cats, don't worry. But will I elaborate further? No, because I've said enough. But for now, that's all the time we have. Talk about Cats the movie. No, that's all the time we have for tonight. But always remember, eat your cereal, go to bed, to be continued. Cats the movie is good? No. God made you special and he loves you very much. If you do drugs, you go to hell before you die. Good night, and how is it not good? Bitch, are we thinking of the same cats? I heard the music is okay. You'll find out some other time. Have a day.